Right then, if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt from Tactical Racing, and if you've seen our post on Facebook, we said we were going to buy an EP3 to do a budget turbo build and video the whole process. The idea of the video is to see how cheap we can boost an EP3. Now, as you can see, we've picked up an EP3. I'm quite excited. I mean, it's got moon miles on. It's definitely been to the moon and back. It's got 147,000 miles. We're going to keep the original clutch that's in it, and I have no idea if it's on the original chain or not. But we're just going to go balls deep and fucking see what we can make out of it. So I might as well talk about the EP3 that we just purchased. Now, if you've seen on Facebook, we bought an FN2 to test parts, develop all that sort of shit. I hate the FN2. I will just say, not because they're a bad car or because they drive worse or anything like that, because to be honest I was quite surprised. They drive a bit better than EP3. Speed wise, I can't really tell the difference. But to live with and to modify, they're just a bit more of a pain in the arse. The parts are still fairly expensive. There's not a lot of cheaper options on the market. And when we're trying to do videos, it's just a hassle. Everything just seems to be a hassle because the space is so tight. Now, the EP3 we bought, it has some mods on it. It's got springs all around. I don't know what they are. They look like potentially SUMP 2 springs. It has a Piper exhaust system, which is quite loud. It's also got an M2 decat, I believe, and I think it's got a K&N induction kit that's then being sprayed black. Now, drives nice, seems to drive fine. Has a bit of a squeak coming from the right shock and spring. Drives nice, seems to drive fine. It has a bit of a squeak coming from the right shock and spring. It's a K20, so it shouldn't really be an issue. Oh well. She sounds fucked. Well, this is not going fucking well with one hand. Fuck me. My cutting skills are shit. I could not be a fucking emo, clearly. Oh, aren't you a cool little thing? Ah, fuck off. Fucking go. Now these are rated for about, I think these 700-ish horsepower. Oh, I don't know about with that bend in it, like. You twat. Cool. Not ideal. Definitely not ideal. I mean, you have come all the way from good old China, but not ideal. I get bumper off, I swear at these clips a few times. Oh. That was nice. Also nice. Fucking hell. Also very nice. Oh well, that's not touched, so I'll just take that one's off. Fucking win. Looks like somebody got to take you I don't know, someone's... Fucking hell, someone's put a new aircon condenser on it. Well, that'll be a shame when it goes. The radiator doesn't feel very hot. And some cunt, instead of keeping the original bolt, put a fucking little Torx head bolt on there, so to remove the bumper. Luckily, I do have that size. Wanker. Just put it. If you can't find the bolt again, just put a normal fucking bolt in. Don't put awkward fittings. It's not a VW. Bastard. And this is really hard to do with one-handed video. Fast forward a bit. At least this side's the right fucking bolt. Ah, oh, fuck off. Now, once you've undone them bolts to get this off, you just tug on this. Oh, it fucking came off quite easily. What I was about to say was you just tug on this. Like, you're very lonely on a night and that you tug on someone else. Yes, the sound of broke. Whoops. It's good to know this bump's been off before. Now, nice. That looks like a crusty mess. Fucking mint. Now, right, so next thing I'm going to do is cut this out. I'm just going to use a hacksaw because I have left the multi-tool. Well, actually, I don't even have the multi-tool with me. So I'm just going to fucking go for it with this. I would never use a hacksaw on someone else's car, like, but yeah. Fuck it. It's mine. It's budget build. Absolute shed. Already fucked. It's got to fit there somehow. Fuck it. I'm sure cutting the bumper just because it needed two hands and took the piss, but this is what the intercooler is going to look like. What I've got to do now is bolt it to the crash bar here and underneath. Basically, that's how our intercoolers fit. If you buy them off outside, they fit exactly like that. Bolt the crash bar, bolt underneath. You do have to drill your own holes, but fuck it. It's a big intercooler. You're probably best to cut the bumper out as well because you've got to butcher the back anyway. That's how it goes. I've used a grinder and a hacksaw. Normally we use a multi-tool, cut out neat, but budget build. And it doesn't look that bad anyway. And I've still got the aircon. Fucking hell, someone spent all that time putting a new aircon pumping condenser on that. Yeah. Might as well keep it. It's pretty straight. I'll move it a bit more left so it's more central because it pisses me off when stuff's not central. But yeah, it looks pretty spot on for now. We've got a few intercooler pipes laid about, a few turbos and shit obviously. So got some black ones which I use on most builds, but got more silver ones and black ones, so I might have to use this 90 degree. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going to use the 90 degree rather than have to bend any of these. This black ones, you can't see it anyway, so fuck it, it'll go on. And what I've got to do is swage them. I don't know if you see the silver ones, they're already swaged. Black ones aren't. So let's go up to the bench. I've got a little fucking shit tool. There. Now, do this. Push it on. Tighten the top. That causes... Oh, fuck. Yeah, I should be pushing a bit further than that. And the tail's dropping a bit. Once it's in properly, then you tighten it up. Then switch. By the time you're finished, some weird glare on the camera. By the time you're finished, looks something like that. Not the scratch marks, it's been on the shelf for fucking ages. But yeah, and all I've got to do now is file down these edges so they're not rough. And that can go on the car. Now, intercooler's mounted, pipe work, we've just started. That's going to go along there. What we do is we put this one up here and through there, and that one goes to the throttle body on our builds. And then this one will come along here and go through the gap there, and that'll come up into the turbo. There's no real reason why we do it like that, other than the pipework just works in the kits that we sell. It just works that way better. So that's how we'll be doing it. It's obviously bolted on in 3 different places. One there, underneath there, and underneath the other side. You can't actually say that one because it's bolted like back in. So yeah, this is going to be the first time as well that we actually get the car on the ramp and have a look, because I've never put this up on the ramp yet. We weren't going to do any of this on the ramp, but to be fair, I don't know anything about this EP3, so it'd be nice to have a look underneath it. Try again, because like a giant cock end, I left the boot open and the boot hits the main beam if it's open. Let's get this up now. Oh, them springs, man. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, there's some engine oil leaking. I mean, but what's... Oh, subframe's pool looks a bit rough and... a bit scabby. Oh. It's not the nicest. But... Oh. Oh, it's got new ball joints. Oh, them bottom arms need to be changed because they're fucking a mess. The rocker cover looks like it's probably leaking. There's oil dripping down there. Yeah, it's from the rocker cover gasket. Subframe's minging. Underside is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. It's pretty fucking... It's been covered in a bit of shit, like, painted over, but it's not fucking terrible. I don't know what the fuck that exhaust is, though. Not a fan. But it'll do. Looks like there's quite a few bits being polybushed. Adjustable camber arms. It's not as bad as I thought that was going to be. I mean, it's fucking could do with some rust repair, but I've seen a lot worse. A lot worse. Quite pleasantly surprised. Fucking horrible decat. Sounds absolutely wank, but it is an M2 decat. I am right. There's a lot of oil, obviously that was coming from the rocker cover. I know that because they stood on the rocker cover, which I've got to replace. So yeah, fresh. Has he done the other ball joint? No, he's only done one. Fucking mint. They are cunt to do, so I'll have fun doing that. Well, it's had some work done, I suppose. Now there's a horrible fucking oil everywhere. Oh well. Now there's a fucking awful squeak coming from this side. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. Right, it's 4 AM. I'm fucking tired now. The intercooler's on. Some of the pipe work's in. The reg is screwed back on. Probably not looking the best, but it's on. Looks a beast. Just got the Mugen grill to go on. And then run around with an intercooler for a day. I've also got to do this stud because that snapped. The other ones seem alright. I don't know what that one's going to be like. This is where the oil leaks come from, the rocker cover. If you've seen the other part of the video. Standard inlet, we've got to put the brake. Take this off. This has got to go looped on itself and up to there so it keeps away from the heat. fuel line can stay where it is because I don't care about fuel. This will be removed. Battery's got to go to the boot. That's the biggest fuck on that I actually forgot about. And like I say, we're going to keep the aircon. I hope. Depends on this. Hopefully I might be able to bend that up a little bit and keep the aircon. Only because I can't be asked to remove it, because now I've done all that, it just seems a bit pointless. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed everything's nice and smooth. Oil caps managed to stay on. But, yeah. Quite happy with it. Fuck me. I've never checked the coolant in this. Quite clean. Probably could do a topping up a little bit. Oh, should I say, it probably hasn't been bled properly. There's probably quite a bit of air in this system. Because it doesn't seem like any cunt seems to bleed these properly. But it's a start. It's a start. So hopefully I don't have to drive this for very long like this, because currently this is what's known as an intercooler. It's not fucking plumbed in yet. It's got nothing. It was just me needing a car to get home after not thinking this through and not bringing the other car. So turbos, before the turbo goes on, get the intercooler all piped up roughly to where it needs to go. And now I've got to drive it as an intercooler. And I feel like a cock end. But fuck it, another little turbo one going on there as well. Right, not a little actually, that one's fucking mega power. That one's a real build. But yeah. So like a ginormous tit, I forgot to record this part, but we removed the sump. It's just 10mm bolts all the way around, then you've got to break the sealant, take your old sump off. Then you get your new sump with the AM10 fitting. Then you use some gasket sealant, so we've just used some instant gasket from Motor Factors, and you put it round so it seals the sump completely. It comes out a bit thick on this video. We then wipe it down so it's a little bit thinner. But to be honest, it doesn't make much difference as long as that sump gasket doesn't go inside the sump. Then you refit your sump. Happy days. Might be going a bit overkill with this sealant line. Fucking stinks.
It's lovely and vinegar.
Fucking hell, isn't it? I'm surprised you actually had some in. It's only one thing I never fucking have any of. This tub's definitely better than that other shit.
Easier to use.
Yeah, by a long way. I fucking stop the video. Right, so next thing you need to do is the sensor, the evap sensor, when you're wiring in the solenoid, chop it off. Just like that, and these two wires here is where you're going to wire your solenoid to. Doesn't matter which way you put it around, just as long as it wires to them. Right, so next thing to do is the battery relocation. Get the other battery out and go and remove this part, which is 2 bolts at the top and 2 bolts underneath, which I'll show you later on. There. And the next one's underneath. 12mm there and there. Take that straight off. Right, so what you want to do is, with your battery relocation, do this, ignore the yellow tape, we don't have any black one, but that'll get changed. Battery, there's a nice little bolt here, the battery relocation should be able to bolt into that. But positive side, what we then tend to do is cut them 2 ways, crimp them together on them, and then insulate it. But like I say, we'll put black tape over that so it doesn't look shit. Tightened up, and then got a feed you back thing now. It's probably best we just cut a hole in there, feed it through. This all pops off, as long as it runs alongside that. And inside the car, see we've got the ECU out. It should just come through here, pull it down, and feed it into the car. Now what we will do is run it behind this and along there. Bit of a fuck on, but what isn't. Pushing through there is tight as fuck. It's tight as an one's chuff. Pain in the arse to get through, but just keep on pulling. Right, so now I've got the battery relocation. You've got the nice little junction box. So yeah, we fucking will cover up all that other shit. And it goes up the other side of there, in through there. Looks pretty tidy in the bay. Not bad for bits of shit that we've got laid around the garage. This is literally as budget as it can get. Right, next thing you need to do is map sensor here. Unplug this cable, and that needs to be replaced for a 4-bar map sensor. We're using the SKUNK 2.1, also available from my website. It is just a Phillips head, unscrew, and it's tight, so you've got to fucking there, out. Do you know how that for us? Oh, you dick. Oh, fuck off. Oh, what a dick. Oh, it's there. Thank fuck. Right. That can fucking go on the clip, fuck it. Full on map sensor. Now, this is fucking got a little rubber seal around it. That is a pig to put in there. A bit of spit to lube her up. Gently finger her in. If we can. And tying the fucking ball back up. Done. Stop it. Right, so next thing we do go and do is injectors. Take the fuel rail off. There's two 12 mils on there. Just take them off. Then you nip this together. Pull the fuel line off. Now, if your car's been stood for a few days, undo your petrol cap. Undoing it should let all the pressure out, and this should have a little bit less pressure. If not, then you get squared in the face. Might not be a bad thing for some of you gay Honda lot. Then you've got to unclip your injectors. Injector hands, so just squeeze them, pull them off.
You like gay jokes, don't you?
Yeah, just a bit. I'll give you that. It's going to have to be a good swift talk. Oh, I was the last fucker. There we go. Oh, Day 2 of the budget turbo build. Hopefully when we get down there today, some more of the parts have arrived. Hopefully wastegate, and a few of the vacuum lines, vacuum port, everything like that's arrived. get the battery relocation finished off, and we should be about ready to hit the dyno on Thursday. If you don't know, that's 2 days, depends when you're watching this, it's 2 days from now. So let's go. Right, next part is we're going to be fitting a sandwich plate and oil line. Now, as you can see, it comes with 4 bungs, but you only need 3 of them. You need to put PTFE tape on them, screw them, and it then comes with our oil lines that we sell on the side. Again, PTFE tape, screw them in. Red line, I've gone for a little fancy fucking fitting at the end. Just looks a bit better in the bay, but we do them in black as well. Actually, no, I'll tell you a lie. I went for this fitting because that's all I had in stock. So yeah, get to it and get on the car. Right, what you're gonna do is take your oil filler off. Sandwich plate has a little fitting that then goes over that, and that just screws on, just like an oil filler. What I meant to mention was you need to put oil. There's a rubber seal on this. Put oil around there, and just like you would on a filler, just dip your finger in the oil, rub it around, very gently, like a woman. And then once that's on, this very hard to do with one hand. Screw it with one hand. Fasten it. Position this. I've got mine positioned sort of like that, so it passes the VTEC solenoid, and it will also pass the exhaust once it's on. And then there, and then your oil filler, it'll screw onto here. Again, bit of oil around the oil filler, screw it on there. Right, then once the sandwich plate on, should look something like that. You can do it different ways, depending if you want to put sensors in. I'm obviously not going to put any sensors, nothing like this. This engine is fucking oily as fuck, because we just had to redo the cam cover. This was leaking like a bitch, as you can see. Next thing to do is put the filter on there. This is that little fitting on. Try to get to that fitting there where the oil filter goes on. It was an awkward size. It's like sort of in between a 27 and 26. Well, I normally use a 27mm and tighten it up, but that needs to be really tight, not just hand tight. And then obviously just do the oil filter hand tight. Now, I don't know the fucking oil that took over it. Some people use fresh, doesn't really fucking make a difference. Just a bit around the rim. Just like you're trying to get a fucking glass to make a noise. Back up. On. Now just ball onto there. Very hard to video this and get my hand in there and tighten it. That should be sound. And then that's the sandwich plate on, with the oil line going up to where the turbo will. Right, so what you need to do as well when you boost them is put different spark plugs in. We use the BK9 ones, NGK. Let's have a look, see if you can get on the NGK. BK9. Just the heat grade of them, and just always never had an issue with these. So spark plug 2 in, do them hand tight, obviously, and then nip up with the ratchet. Don't do these too tight, snap them in the head, then you'll be crying for a while. And then repeat obviously with all 4. I'll show you the next step. Once your new spark plugs are in, then you got to put your coil packs back on. Now, normally people take them off and then keep them on. I don't really give that much of a fuck. Not on this one anyway. Right. Just get them in, push them down, make sure they're on properly. And then the bolts for them. We've got a flush cover, so it's got different bolts to normal. Line them up. In these are 10 mils, and because of the flush cover, the middle ones are some awful torque bolts. Fucking nasty things. But that's what's come out. That's what's going in. Not really an issue. Then tighten them all up, and then we can put flush plug cover back on. Now, if you're doing like a sidewinder build and you get the flush covers, you can sort of like feed your oil line under them, so it comes out to the sidewinder, which is what we'll be doing on the other build, and it just makes it look a lot neater. Alright, so the max speed rod's turbo comes like this. Now, in the Civics, we need this part to be up there, so all you do is 13mm bolts, undo them all around here, 0.4, and all I've got to do then is just rotate the housing. Should have just done it the other way and not being a simple cunt. And then we need that to sort of sit, something like that. But what you'll notice is, this is not straight, so I've also got to rotate this side, so your oil feed is perfectly 90 degree. Yeah, just basically thing to do, tighten these back up, this will be sort of in the position where it needs to be. Happy days. Alright, so then what you've got to do is tighten up the bolts. Now on these max speed rods, you can't actually get a socket or anything on there and it's a pick to tighten up, so I always put one of them Allen key bolts. I normally use all 4 Allen key, but we don't have them. Just using what's in there. Tighten them 4 bolts on, make sure you put a gasket. The oil line then goes to there, and then that's it, ready to make fucking train noises. Got the clamps to tighten up. Boost solenoid still go on, but we're fucking getting there. Right, so once you've got that on, there's the feed. Now I've also got the drain, which is A10 line, going from the bottom of the turbo down at the sump. Now it has to be at a queer angle on these, because if you do it straight down, it gets in the way of the downpipe and the wastegate. Now I haven't got the wastegate on, as that should be here hopefully tomorrow. Wastegate on, and that's us about done then. Somewhere near. But yeah, and then we can give it the first start. See what it's like. Everything's tight, bolted tight. Sound. The downpipe. This is a 4-bolt flange. We sell the V-band and the 4-bolt flange on the website, depending on which turbo you've got. But this then, back now. We've got to do slide it up there, and we would have stood on there. You can see onto there. We'll have to go at the top and line this up, but then the decat pipe will fit nicely up onto there, and then up onto there, then onto the 3-bolt flange. Obviously sitting a bit higher, but yeah. Well, because we were late getting the dyno, this was the downpipe on, wastegate and screamer. As you can see, it is a cheap Chinese wastegate. We will not be listing them then, because you can get the pulsar ones for the same price. Just we were pushed for time, and that's all we could get hold of. Everything's on, nice and snug, close but not hitting anything. And yeah, made it the dyno now. To put the wastegate on was up there. I don't know if you can see, there's 2. Get the camera to focus. There's a bolt just up there, and there's a one. I don't know if you'll be able to see that one. because I couldn't. I had to feel for it. And if the camera would focus on it. Up there. Gotta tighten them two up. Then get your screen pipe bolts in. Each other. And there. It's made 358 horsepower on the dyno. We've been back, we've not ball checked it. Looks spot on. As you can see, our tracking's miles out. Like, ridiculously out, so that needs to get sorted. And because I'm a dick, we managed to put the back window out. We had left the boot up and it hit that beam, smashed the window. Which wasn't our smartest of, well, it wasn't my smartest of things. We've got that to cut. That's kind of the video anyway. So we're finished, we've done the nut and bolt check, another late night. It's all done. By now obviously we've been to the dyno, 358 horsepower. Some parts didn't turn up, long nights. But we done a budget boost, we drove it about, completely fine. We need to put an air filter on it and need to put some a bit of heat shielding, but it's been spot on, drove well. It's night and day compared to that in the Sidewinder builds, but to drive as a daily, completely mint. That's Tina and he's hoovering up the glass. We've put a nice little video of us lifting it up and smashing the fucking glass off the back because we absolutely retarded and tired and just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, it's like I say, it's done. Make good power, looks pretty tidy. Everything's neat. I mean, it's all right. It's like I say, we've got some other builds in. We've got full Sidewinder builds. That's a different kettle of fish. That'll make a lot more horsepower. Be a lot better to just make a lot better power. Just be a lot better carter to be about. As you can see, we're fairly busy at the minute. So yeah, hopefully you'll follow the next videos.